I mean...
That's not a show now, you don't need to watch it.
You've never been more
That's
in.
great.
And Jason joins us now. I mean, the trailer looks epic.
There's more, I have to say. I play him when he's 80, which is the most fun thing for an actor, because I'm all dressed up and all prosthetics and stuff. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not playing Cary Grant. Just to make it very, very clear. Cary Grant was playing Cary Grant. His name's Archie Leach, and everything that you see on screen of him in the movies, that kind of suave, debonair, you know, epitome of kind of calm masculinity, he was the opposite. I would never try and play Cary Grant. You have to be a moron to try and be the man who was kind of adored and loved and lusted after by the whole world for 30 years. But when off-screen, he was a very troubled, very damaged, very damaging, very hurt man who was, you know, charmless in many ways, often and full of rage, and destroyed all of his marriages, and that makes much better telly, frankly.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is, you know, you assume, like you say, that he is that idea of perfection, don't you? He really did embody that. But he actually had a really troubled childhood, which you touched on in the show.
People think that about you two, obviously, and off-screen. What I've just seen, let me tell you. No, but it is true about today, we're obsessed with people who come through our phones, and we think that many people have perfect lives. He was the epitome of every man wanted to be him and every woman wanted to be with him. And, yeah, he had a terrible childhood. He was abused, neglected, abandoned, and then he was hungry. He was starving for a lot of his life, and he did a lot of things to try and survive. And those wounds of childhood, not only do they not heal, they just got wider and wider. I think, this is me being pop psychologist, but it looked like he tried to get the love of everyone he met, and then the whole world. He got the love of the whole world, and it just made him feel worse.
Empty.
You know, and that's why he was trying to control every situation to keep chaos at bay. And in the end, our story, his story, having spoken to his relatives, his daughter and his wife and stuff, I think he started to heal when he realised it wasn't getting love that would do it, it was giving love. And he had a daughter. His relationships with his wives and various people he was with were all disastrous.
Because that was the incredible thing, because he kind of retired, not necessarily at the height of his fame, because he wasn't overly happy with the roles he was getting, but he kind of retired. Yeah, he certainly wasn't past it when he retired. To look after his daughter. Like, he retired to spend more time with his daughter.
In a way, he'd also curated this brand, but I mean, he did a lot of a wide variety of parts, but he turned down a lot that went on to win Oscars, which he really wanted, because he curated this brand, this Cary Grant brand, that always got the girl and was unflappable and, you know, looked great in suits. We'll have a look later, you know.
Yeah.
But he couldn't do that anymore. He was in his 60s when he met Diane, who was 27, and he was in his late 70s when he met his next wife, who was also under 30. So he couldn't do that on screen. It was beginning to look absurd. So I think his daughter arriving coincided with a time when he was thinking, I've no idea who to be on screen. And it was very important to him. He went into business for 30 years. He was brilliant at business. But he kept that brand safe and secure. And even now, when people think, oh, you're playing Cary Grant, you're playing the debonair lady killer, you go, that's because he preserved that and he made sure that's what he did on screen. He developed the screenplays very carefully.
It was incredible. It just goes to show what a good actor he was.
He was a good actor. He acted in life. I mean, he struggled to be Cary Grant. You know, a lot of people off-screen were shocked by who he really was. I looked for interviews to try and base myself on, he obviously wasn't the guy in the movies.
He wasn't anywhere there.
There's nothing. He wouldn't let the public see who he was. So Diane Cannon, who plays his wife, Laura, brilliantly, Laura Aiken plays Diane Cannon in the series. There's a ton of interviews with her, but when I was speaking to her, she went, of course. He wouldn't let anybody see who he was. She knew who he was. She wrote a wonderful autobiography about it, but she told me a lot more that isn't in the book, which is hair culling. I mean, I don't want to paint a terrible picture of him. He was his own worst enemy. He was a terrible husband to her, and he was a very difficult man, but mostly those scars of childhood, they never healed.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at a clip of tonight.
Here she is. Oh. Grace.
Your Royal Highness, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Your Majesty. Oh, love.
Ooh.
I'm so glad you came.
Oh.
I wasn't sure you could. You know how tight your schedule is.
Well, I was intrigued. Why could you be so desperate to see me?
Go on, cup of tea. I always want to know, do you wear your crowns at night during the radio?
Only on Saturdays.
That's one of the lighter moments, I have to say. It's not always that much fun. They then get into a discussion about, you know, people think that women threw themselves out, and they did, but he became obsessed with people, so much so that, you know, Sophia Loren, and when our story starts and he finds Diane Cannon by watching a TV show and going, her, I want her. It's the answer to the problem he's got, which is Sophia Loren doesn't want him. He's been phoning her thousands of times and he's just besieging her. You know, she almost got a restraining order against him.
Sad, quite a troubled
Isn't it
soul.
like he's seeking
very troubled.
that idea of perfection because his past and his life really hasn't been?
Yeah.
So he's trying to sort of mask everything.
He took acid hundreds of times with the doctor to try and quell his nightmares.
Oh, my
So when friends say, or when I see online, people go, good luck to him playing Cary Grant. Yeah, good luck to me. I wouldn't try. But Archie Leach is a character worth watching because we all need to learn not to be fooled by the shiny things that we see on screen.
Absolutely.
And to look at
the story, Jason, before you got
nothing.
Yeah.
I like you, like most people. I thought, well, he was the guy in beautiful suits.
Right.
He was very handsome, very funny.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. Like I have no idea about most of the people I admire when I meet them. We get to meet celebrities and you go, blimey, they're nothing like the person I
Such a
thought.
great actor as well, like North by Northwest, because he's sort of serious but plays comic. He's great comic time.
Well, you know, he started off as a vaudeville actor. He was a carnival barker. He was a stilt walker, and then he, you know, entertaining in the streets.
Yeah.
He has all that in the early films. But Alfred Hitchcock knew him and knew that he was a quite dark, controlling person and his relationships were trouble. That's why he cast him in Notorious and North by Northwest.
Listen, best of luck with it. Archie is available to stream tomorrow on ITVX.
Yes, it is.
Brilliant
Wonderful
stuff. Well,